episode of Movie Talks and Chill. We are your hosts. I am Tony Serrato.
I am Gavin Butts.
I'm Patrick Wall.
And happy Thanksgiving, first of all.
Yes.
So, gobble, gobble.
Believe
Believe it or not, both of those sounds will go into what we're talking about
Yes.
today.
Yes, sadly. So, Patrick, take it away.
Oh, okay, so we're just going to dive right into this.
Yeah, we'll say happy Thanksgiving later on.
Even though we already just did.
Yeah, but we'll say it again.
Okay.
What were you saying?
We'll really mean it this
Well,
time.
yeah. It'll be from the heart.
Yes.
So we were trying to think of Thanksgiving Day episode ideas, and for the past 2 years, we've done basically every Thanksgiving movie that's out there.
Because there's like 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I figured this time we would do something a little bit differently. We're going to take a deep dive into one very specific Thanksgiving movie.
That he chose.
It's not that much of a deep dive. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like about an inch wide.
Yeah, this isn't like the deepest of movies. It's only an hour long.
It's like having a shallow life partner.
Yeah.
There's not too much thought that goes into it.
But it does revolve around Thanksgiving-ish.
Because they say they're on Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, really.
And the first, well, you know what? We'll get into it.
Hey, if Die Hard's a Christmas movie because they're at a Christmas party, which I agree with, this is a Thanksgiving movie.
Never ever compare those two.
I know. That's the only thing they have in common.
I
Is
know.
that they're all on holidays.
Now I have to kill all of you. Oh my gosh. Well, before you tell them what it was, so I've seen it before. I think I actually mentioned it to you a long time ago. And it's
No, I saw it
you
before.
found that one?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Then I don't have to take credit on that one. But after watching it, because I've seen it before, so I rewatched just to refresh my memory. I didn't forget that much.
There's not a whole
but
lot to forget.
It reminded me of in the movie Scrooged with Bill Murray, and he watches their promos.
Right. Oh,
And
yeah.
he stops and he's like, oh my gosh, does that suck? That's kind of what I felt like. But anyway.
Let me show you my Scrooge promo.
Acid rain, drug addiction, freeway killings.
So, you ready?
Yeah, no, go ahead, please.
The movie that we are talking about today is a movie called Thankskilling. It's about a killer turkey from the Pilgrimage that gets reawoken because a dog takes a totem out of the ground and then it just goes on a murder spree.
Yes.
Best line of the movie is in the opening scene, and it's nice tits, bitch.
That is the opening
That
scene.
is the
of
opening
movie.
scene.
There's just a pair of breasts.
Yes.
Yes.
Front and center, close up.
Somehow it's it's the top around it is perfectly secure.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
she's wearing her entire pilgrim outfit.
I know.
except
For
for
some reason.
Just for some reason they cut out the breast area.
And I could have sworn when I first watched it, the boobs were clothed and then the turkey rips off the shirt. But no, she's just, letting them all hang out.
No, the first time you saw it was the theatrical release.
Probably,
Yeah.
This
yeah.
is the Snyder cut. Or something.
Snyder wants boobies.
Snyder gets what Snyder wants.
Yes, he does.
So the first killing takes place the day after the very first Thanksgiving. And I think the lore is a local Native American was not very happy with the white people. So he necromanced a killer turkey to go kill all the white people.
Because you have so many options, why a turkey just seemed to fit properly.
I mean, yeah, it could have been, a bear, just mountain lion, pack of wolves. No, turkey.
turkey.
It's probably entire tribe of Native American warriors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Couldn't have found an
Just make all your braves undead
Yeah.
and that they can't die.
Indian zombie.
Exactly.
There you go.
Ooh. Hey, Spielberg, we got a little present for you.
And I think this is more in A24's wheelhouse.
Hey, yeah, I'll call Stephen King too.
Yeah.
He can weird it up.
Steven!
What's so Shalama Lama Ding Dong doing? He ain't had a good one in a while.
And there's going to be an interesting twist at the end.
So the movie opens with the turkey killing this pilgrim woman, and then it flashes forward to the modern day. I can't remember when this movie was made. I think it was around
like 2010 or 2011.
1990, never.
It does have that early 2000s vibe. Because I'm pretty sure this movie was probably made on a budget of 50 grand. And 49 of it went to the intro scene.
Yeah.
How much to show your boobs?
No. The intro credits.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like just that scene. I'd be like,
Yeah, they had to pay that woman $49,000 to show her boobs.
all right, guys, we got $1,000 left.
Honestly, it feels like the rest of the movie was made on $1,000.
Yes,
But
and
no,
it looked that way too.
Yes. And I'm trying to figure out if that's on purpose or if...
Oh
Or
no,
not.
I think they just.
Made it.
No, I think it was on purpose, but I also think that they were just not very experienced. That would be my opinion.
So Accord is made in 2009. Thankskilling is a 2009 American independent black comedy slasher written and directed by Jordan Downey and co-written Bradley Schultz, blah, 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 blah.
I believe
With
Jordan
a
does the voice of the turkey, if I'm correct.
With a production budget of $3,500.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So no, I'm going to rescale the ratio to $3,400 of that when's the opening credits.
Yeah.
Because that was probably the nicest looking thing in the video or the movie. And the rest was shot on a budget of...
Thankskilling 3 will stuff your turkey. Actually, is the one that made the most money.
So it made $20.
And I think there was like a musical, an adapted musical
Oh
afterwards.
my God.
I think after the third one. Yeah.
Gobble,
Gobble, gobble.
You need some liquid wild turkey to get through this movie.
Yeah. Hey, so can I give some thoughts?
By all means.
Thank you. May I please give some thoughts?
If it please the court.
Does that suck? I think that it reminded me of a piece of artwork. It's called a banana taped to a wall. That was something Patrick brought up to us earlier, but no.
At the time of this recording, it sold for $6.2 million.
Yeah. Made way more money than this movie did.
Yeah, exactly. They could have made this movie 1,000,000 times.
So as a movie lover of myself, I try to appreciate all there is, and you know whether you're a first time filmmaker, whether it's bad, you gave it a shot. Clearly, you did something more than we've done because we haven't made the movie.
Yeah.
So I'll give you kudos to that. Having said that,
The music wasn't bad.
yeah, the music was okay. Yeah. I liked the end credits. They slowed at a reasonable pace. I could read all the names.
You know, I like
I like the end credits because it meant the movie was over.
It's like, yeah, I like the end of the movie. The climax. No, when the movie stopped, I love that.
Yeah. So a couple things I want to bring up is, number one, the writing and the acting. I believe that the acting is reflected on the writing, so it starts there.
Yes.
And then the
writing was terrible.
So a couple key things I like to think about is like near the end of the movie. I'm just going to fast forward. There's a line in there. I got to try to keep a straight face on this one. So there's a line in there where, the turkey gets killed, and they call him just Turkey.
Yeah.
By the way, and so
he's just the turkey.
he gets a
Couldn't be
shotgun.
Mr. Gobble Gobble.
No, it's just Turkey, and he gets killed by that redneck guy.
Yeah, the hobo that lives in the woods.
Yeah, shoots him in the face, point blank range. So then the kids go, after all their families get murdered by this turkey and their one friend, the one slut
Billy.
girl, and the Billy and the slut girl.
And the slut girl.
The turkey's dead now, or they think it's dead, and they're like, hey, I'm kind of glad this all happened. You guys, made me realize, something along the lines like made me really realize, how important things are and family and losing. And, even though you lose your friends and your parents and blah, 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 there's still meaning or something. You guys want to go and watch movies now? And so they immediately, and they're like, yeah. And they go to one of their houses, and they're just the three of them crunched on the couch to watch movies. Mind you, this is not like the day after, a week later.
Right.
This is like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't scan up like 1 month later.
It took them longer to walk to the house.
So they get back to the house, and the one guy, the nerd guy, he's like, oh, yeah, man, I'm all comfy about to watch my movies. And then the girl and him. So the point is, and then she's like, the one guy's like, well, what if it really isn't dead? And he's like, no way. The jock guy, no way, unless he got doused by radioactive waste, which is exactly what happened. Like a couple minutes later, or a couple minutes earlier.
Like a truck backs up and just dumps it.
When he gets shot in the face, he flies into a trash bin, and it's a nuclear waste receptacle.
Yeah. So
it's just open in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
too.
Right.
Yeah. So when he says, "Well, unless he got covered with nuclear waste," and then he comes back glowing green. So a little bit of some say that's a good idea to foreshadow. I say no, that's not how you foreshadow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It's like in Deadpool. It's like, I can break the fourth wall. The proposal. What the fuck? Is that what you think I do? Like, that's not foreshadowing.
So I wanted to talk about that for a minute, and there's multiple other. I mean, the writing was just bad. It was just not good at all.
The scenes did not flow.
No.
Like, have a beginning, a middle, or an end. It just kind of felt like a scene happened.
Yeah.
And the camera was on.
It was like really bad improv. Only not funny at all. Like,
Bill Cosby on 9/11. We're giving you gold here, buddy.
It's like every ending of the scene was like the ending of the Sopranos series. It's just like goes
faded to
black,
black.
no explanation. Maybe you don't even hear music. So that's one example. There is a couple other examples in there. First of all, the guy Billy. I mean, just so it's just bad. I mean, I'm trying to say how bad this is. It's like just some of the stuff they said, and like the one nerd guy who met up with the guy Billy. I guess they've been friends somehow. From what I gathered from the beginning of the movie is that he really didn't know the other guys because he introduces them to him. And immediately the jock guy introduced him to the jock guy, and he's like, "Oh man, I know." He's like, "Yeah, man, here, check this out."
Yeah,
and he puts his
feel
gun
my bicep.
Yeah, it's like out of nowhere. And then he's suddenly invited to go on this trip.
You don't do that?
No, I
We
don't.
don't do that at courtside?
No, I don't. I mean, the people I know.
Yeah, right.
But he gets in, and then next.
Don't tell Steve that. That'll be his new move.
Thankfully, he's in Chicago for a week.
Hey, check this out.
Yeah.
So then they're in this Jeep, and then they're all talking as if they've all known each other for like a while. And then the nerd guy...
I also like the nerd guy's like, I'm going to drink and I'm going to have sex with one of these two girls. And they're both like...
Or no, he said someone in this car.
Yeah, someone in this car.
And they're all like looking around. And he's like, I'm going to be doing the sex.
With someone else.
With someone else.
Yeah, 'cause they're all sitting there quiet. And he's like, man, this is going to be a great weekend. It's almost like the director had the camera and said...
Somebody.
Go. Yeah. Man, this is going to be a great weekend.
Somebody say something.
Yeah. And they're all,
He's just sitting there. Line. Man, this is going to be a great... Man, this is going to be a great...
Take 15.
Yeah.
I need more excitement out of you. I need to really see you believe that it's going to be a great weekend.
I really...
Right guard. Yeah. It's upside down. Upside down.
Man, it's going to be a great weekend.
Fuck you.
Yeah, right.
It's a banana taped to a wall. So
that's going to be our next shirt.
Yes,
it's just a banana on a wall.
Yeah, actually, we might get sued for that if the person who bought it or sold it.
It's a Singaporean crypto billionaire.
I was going to say they don't own the NFT for it, so we can have that.
Actually, what we could do to get
probably
around
create
it,
one.
we could say it's a plantain glued
Ah,
to a wall.
Yeah.
I have completely different art styles.
Yeah.
It's a plantain glued.
Yeah, that's right, Tony. All the girls are clamoring for the plantain section.
Yeah. You don't like plantains? What do
I
you
get that reference. I just want you to know.
I know you.
What? Yeah.
eat plantains.
I do when they're fried. I like fried plantains.
So back to this is going to be a great weekend. So then later their Jeep breaks down, as you know, most things happen.
It's horror movies.
And and so their Jeep breaks down. It's the middle of the night. It's just overheating. That's all it is, because they never get it checked out.
No,
and they're
and
looking at
it just works about an hour later.
Yeah, well, it's like the next morning, but we don't know what time of night it was that they referenced. But they're gonna go home, and they're heading home for Thanksgiving break, and their car breaks down, but doesn't really break. It just overheats. And he's looking, and he's like, well, it's going to take a little bit for that to cool down or something like that to get back on the road. And they're like, why don't we just camp out here tonight then? It's like, it's going to take like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, why do, and they're like,
if that.
yeah, we can get drunk here tonight. That big guy, Billy. And they're like, I'm in. Okay. And then they all just decide to camp. Now, the next day, the car works without fail. They drive home. The other thing about that scene is the girl, the one, I guess you call her the main girl.
The blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's calling her father, who's a sheriff of what town, I don't know.
Nope.
Because if that was a sheriff here, I would think we're all doomed. But he's...
Also, can I just say he was wearing his Stetson indoors the entire time?
Yeah.
Like, the director wasn't fully convinced that having a guy in a cop outfit with a badge, like, I don't think people will understand that he's a local sheriff.
Yeah.
But on the Stetson.
Yeah.
We're going to model this after Buford T. Justice.
Yeah.
So what
You can
happened?
think about it, just don't do it.
So before the girl calls him, it cuts to a scene with him sitting in the kitchen, and his wife comes in, and she pours him coffee and drinks. Like, oh my God, this tastes like shit. Did you shit in the coffee? It's like, well, as a matter of fact, I did. And she pulls a cup, and there's
Like 3 turds.
human feces inside the coffee pot, and she's like, I'm leaving you, and walks out. And he's like, okay, and walks out. I don't know how long they determined that they were married for, but I would assume if you've done the blessed,
The shitting
joining of
into it.
wives, and you've gone through the ceremonies and you've done all that, whether you've been married for a year, it would take you would be a little bit more shocked than okay, and you'd probably be like, instead of I'm just leaving you and walking away very calmly, before fecaling into the coffee pot.
Perhaps maybe a good riddance or
Yeah, I mean, she just says, yeah, and I'm leaving you.
don't let the door hit you.
So then his phone rings, and it's the daughter calling him, letting him know she's stuck and she can't make it home till later, or something like that. Or maybe she called him earlier to tell her
She stepped away
she
from
was
the
on
campfire to go make that call.
Yeah, she was on her way home, and he said, "Oh, and by the way, your stepmother left me. See you tomorrow." And that's really it. Take that for a moment. Let it sink
Digest.
in. Yeah.
It added nothing to the film.
Yeah.
Outside of a funny joke that she shit in a coffee pot.
And it really wasn't funny. Like,
wasn't
didn't
that
make
funny.
me laugh at all. Like, there was nothing. I was more in confusion of the rest of the scene of like, okay, was there any lead up to that? Like, it's not like they did a scene with the parents before talking to the daughter.
I'd like to
and
think
he's like,
this-
your cooking's bad. It tastes like you shit it all the time. And then like this was like her
And then
revenge
it-
and be like, haha,
yeah.
I got you. There's no
Yeah,
build
you got to
up.
have like a...
There's a way to read this movie as there's actually another 3 hours worth of film just on the cutting room floor, and they just
Probably.
cut out way too much.
Probably. Yeah.
I don't think they cut enough. I honestly, this movie could have been like,
I was going to say, this could have been a short.
this could have been like a 3-minute done. Like, all right, let me give you the Serato cut version. Okay, so I'll take all the same elements. I'm not gonna try to rewrite anything. I will just here's my cut. Okay, you can keep the boobs at the beginning. All right?
Okay.
Because that just sells. I'm not saying I personally would say that makes it help, but it just sells. So, all right, bam, there. Turkey kills her. Cuts real quick to like a 10-second Indian with a talisman thing. Cut to kids partying in the camp. Cut to them getting killed. Cut to them shooting the turkey. Cut to them, turkey comes back to life. Don't even mention the radiation stuff. And then credits. That's my 3 minutes.
I like it.
And I think that would solidly flow so much better. Don't even have scenes where they're talking.
Who told you to talk?
Yeah. Like, just cut out all the dialogue. Like, you can have the shock reaction moments, like, turkey killed me. Yeah.
I think after the campfire, they go back to the jock kid's house, and like both of his parents are dead from the turkey.
No, he gets there. They're there first.
Oh, yeah.
They're alive. And the thing is, the mother answers the door, and he's just standing in the doorway, and they're having a full conversation. Like, he's home. They knew he was coming home for Thanksgiving to stay there. And she's like, open the door, and they're having he's just standing there. It's like, he didn't come in. He came in, like, after their conversation was done.
Yeah, well, because it was better lighting outside.
That's probably not far off from what happened. They probably said, how are we going to do this so dim? Like, that was going to be their worst decision of that
Yeah.
film.
To be fair, when they do go inside, it is very dim.
Yeah.
They did not have external lighting kits.
I don't think lighting was
For
should have been the
$3,500,
big-
I don't. It does not surprise me.
So you got that, and then the dad goes outside with the son to talk, and the turkey kills him in front of him. Then he goes inside, and the mother's just dead. So
Like
she's got-
stapled to a wall with her
Yeah.
eyes gouged out or
Yeah.
something like that.
yeah, it's great.
It's plugged out.
It might have been.
So yeah, that's some of my thoughts on this film.
Well, we're getting up to my favorite part of the film, is the next part,
Wow.
where they go to the blonde's, the sheriff's house. And so before they get there, the turkey kills him, just murders the sheriff. Then, in a bit of genius, they have the turkey remove his face
Oh yeah.
and then tie it to his turkey face. And then he answers the door, and everyone believes he is the sheriff.
And then Billy's talking to him. He's like, "Oh, Mr. Sheriff,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "All right," like talking to him.
Like the daughter
Doesn't
even
realize that the face is attached to a turkey.
A beak.
that's tied with twine.
Yeah.
Which really, I found this whole thing hilarious. The daughter even leans down like, "Oh, I love you, Daddy," and gives him a kiss on the cheek.
Again, it's a face twine
To a
tied
turkey.
Actually, that's not even the worst scene. Is if you remember the
Oh, no, that's my favorite
Oh.
scene. That's not the worst scene.
Oh.
so there is another scene.
But wait, the scene
Oh, I'm
ends.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Billy Bob's walking through the house, like, "I gotta eat," and then he goes into like the pantry and he sees the turkey dragging away the body, and it's just the sheriff, but he's got ketchup all over his face, and Billy Bob's like, "Wait, if he's the sheriff, that means you're the," and then they all just have like, he gets him in a headlock and they're trying to figure out how to kill it, and it escapes, and all you see is the plumage go. It just like runs out the door.
Well, and also the other great moment of that movie, if you can call it that, is the scene where I don't know if they're trying to imply that the turkey has hypnosis powers, but then when Billy was going again later on outside by himself,
Oh yeah,
and you
That-
hear the turkey voice, and it's like, "Really, you hungry?" And all of a sudden there's like this background supposed to be
This-
special effect of like this
the most ropiest CGI I've ever seen.
of a turkey, like just a regular,
Like a
almost
Norman
cartoon
Rockwell
drawn
turkey. Yeah.
like a
turkey.
Norman Rockwell turkey.
And he leans his head back, and this image goes into his mouth, and then he burps. It's not a real turkey, so I don't know if they were insinuating the turkey has magical powers.
I don't know,
But then he rips out of his body,
like through his chest.
and
So he went full on aliens.
Yeah.
and then the scene that I will say I couldn't stop laughing at was later on when the friend,
Oh, when the
nerdy
friend
guy
finds him,
finds him, and he's
and
like,
then they do this like montage. thing.
yeah. So which was horrible. That's not even the part that I laughed at. That was like, oh my Jesus.
That
It was-
that was like a full 2 minutes, and that was a minute and a half longer than it really needed
Yeah,
to be.
it was a montage of a song. It was kind of like Stu's song in The Hangover.
Yeah.
You know, like when he's playing
Oh,
the
yeah.
piano.
What do
Yeah.
tigers dream of?
Yeah. It was like that, and it's like him are like frolicking in
Yeah.
places,
Like
holding
having
hands,
lunch
like,
together.
"Oh, Billy, we're so best friends," and it's horrible. So, and at that part, I was like, "Oh, Jesus, this is really bad." And then they cut when he's talking. He's like, "Oh man, Billy, you're my best friend." He's like this horrible fake crying, which then I started laughing because I'm like, "This is really bad acting, but it's really funny." Because he says one thing after he says a lot of stuff to him. He's like, "I can't believe that turkey. I'm gonna kill that mother effer turkey for you, Bill. It's not even that bad. You'll be okay, Bill." His whole chest is ripped open, like his whole torso. There's blood
We're
everywhere.
gonna put this back in.
But he's just like holding it. It's like, it's not that bad. And I was like, at that part, I was like, all right, you got me on that one. It was pretty good.
There is a scene where they kill the slutty girl, and so
That was the part I was going to talk about.
okay. Well, if you want to talk, but you don't even talk about it. But it's almost like the director is like, "Oh shit, we forgot to kill that one person, so we got to have one little scene of her dying." And there's almost little to no effort in this killing scene.
And it's really bad, too, because, you know, she plays the slut girl.
Yeah.
And they even tell her that. And then she even says that, too. She's like,
She's credited as Slut One.
it's like, I'm not sleeping when she was talking when the guy was in
There's
the
a-
Jeep when he's like, I'm gonna have sex with someone here. It's like, not me. I'm a prude or I'm a tease or something like that.
Yeah, and there's a running joke about
Her
how
legs.
her legs are harder to crack open than the John Benet Ramsey case.
That was actually funny too. They laughed a little too hard at that. Like, I got a little chuckle out of it, but they were like, "Oh man, that is awesome!" Then she comes back over
Like,
to the
through
Jeep.
context-
She was leaving. She comes back over to the Jeep. They all stop and they're like quiet. And then she walks away again. They're like, "Oh my god, that was a great joke."
I didn't know even through context that meant it was really easy to get her legs open, and for it was really hard to get her legs open. So I actually had to go onto Wikipedia and figure out, refresh myself of what the hell happened with John Benet Ramsey.
See, at least if the movie did anything, it made you
It made you think.
re-educate some things.
Re-educated.
I gotta look that case up.
Wait a
again.
minute. Hold on. Cold cases. Here we go.
So you want to talk about her death scene?
Oh, it's horrible. The only thing I was gonna say is, so it cuts to, and she's at home, and
And because
it's just
the-
some random guy.
Yes.
Is
So the
having
jock
sex
wasn't
with
going
her
to. Yeah.
from behind.
Finally.
So the jock wasn't going to sleep with her, so she just called over some rando dude.
Yeah, which you don't really see any of this happen. It's just next thing you know, there's a scene of the door opens and she's bent over on her bed and he's behind her. Now they don't really show anything.
No,
all
it's
like-
fully clothed.
Yeah, they're just so.
They only got permission to show one pair of tits.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So then the turkey comes in and kills the guy mid process, and then the turkey then proceeds to try to, and then when she realizes that it's the turkey, because she turns around eventually because he's talking, and then he kills her.
Oh, yeah.
And he snaps her neck. But the way he does it, it's such bad camera movement. So it's kind of like. It's like let's say you're her, you turn your head like this real quick, and he's like, "Bup," and then all of a sudden she's like this on the ground. But it's like a feather.
Yeah.
And you see it like almost
It just
like push.
yeah.
And then it just cuts to her head bam, on the bed.
I will say there's a little bit of a joke when he kills the guy that's having sex with her. A little bit of blood drops onto her back, and she's like, "Come on, Troy, really already?" I thought that was kind of funny.
And this is before Billy got killed. So then later on, I can't remember how they found out she died, but he's like, oh, he goes into her room, the jock guy.
Oh yeah.
It's like, she's dead. And he's like, and I
Yeah,
found
because-
this, and it's a big feather. And he's like, and this, and it says, and the one guy reads it, he's like, extra small.
Turkey condom or something like
No,
that?
it was something that has to do with Thanksgiving, like pumpkin pie flavor.
Oh, gravy flavored.
Gravy flavor, that's what it was. It's like extra small gravy flavor, and then it cuts to the fat guy Billy. He's like, man, I knew I was getting close with her. Like, what?
Well, I will say at the beginning of the movie
He
when
did
they
try to hit on her.
when they get out of school for Thanksgiving break, Billy Bob. I'm going to start calling him Billy Bob
Yeah, you
because he
might as
reminds
well.
me of Billy Bob from the John Voight football movie.
Yeah, Friday Night
Yeah.
Lights.
No.
No, you're talking about Varsity Blues.
Oh, Varsity Blues,
Yes. But he just like rips off his white tank top and he's like, yeah. And the jock's like, why the hell are you doing that, man? He's like, the girls want to see it. And then the slutty girl is like, hell yeah, Billy. And then she pulls up her shirt. And then that's it.
That's the scene.
Nope. That was him flirting with her.
Yeah. Well, no, he was trying to, when he called her a slut in the Jeep, then when they're at the campfire, everyone's going to bed. She's like, you can sleep in my tent. And the other girl says, you can sleep in my tent. And then it's just two of them. And he says something to her. She's like, no, don't even think about it, Billy. And then he's like, oh, well, how about tomorrow? She's like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then just goes off and walks off. It's like, it's bad. It's bad.
This movie's great.
It's bad.
It's so terrible. It's
Good.
great. Yeah.
I almost, as watching it again and saying, "Oh, this is why I only saw it one time," I almost said to
This
myself,
is my third time watching it.
"Gosh, I really wish I could turn on a Hallmark movie right now."
What was
Yeah.
That season's coming up.
No, no, it ain't. We're erasing that season.
what was that movie that was it was like the detective movie. It was after The Onion.
Movie 43?
No. Like it was the guy from 007.
You, from the second Onion movie? You mean?
Yeah.
Glass.
Yeah, it was Glass something.
Onion.
Oh, Glass Onion. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause the first one was just Knives Out.
Knives
this
Out,
one
yeah.
was Glass
It was-
Onion and
okay.
Knives Out.
Well, it's like
Well, you
him-
said the Onion movie. I genuinely thought you were talking about the
At first, I
was
thought
getting
that
there.
was when he said detective and he was talking about Roger Moore, not Roger
Daniel
Moore.
Craig.
Daniel
Yeah,
Craig.
Craig.
When he said 007, I'm like, oh, I know what he's talking about now.
Well, so there's like that diatribe that he gets in there while he's trying to break down the scene.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it's so dumb. And then, oh man,
Edward Norton.
no, the girl, Anyway, she's like, oh my God, yes. It's so dumb. It's brilliant. It's like, no, it's just dumb. It's like, stop it.
Oh, yeah,
Stop
the whole plot of it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, the
the
whole
whole
plot of
thing?
how
It's like,
everything.
yeah,
It's so dumb. It's brilliant. No, it's just dumb.
That's kind of how I felt. Yeah.
Well, we got a little bit more time. Let's devote a few minutes to the ending of the movie.
Okay. Go ahead.
So to kill the turkey,
Billy Bob Sr.
so they figure out to kill this turkey because they made it wildly too complicated. They found a book, and the nerd guy has to do a math puzzle to figure out what it says. Like, they even zoom in onto the book. It's just like giant algebraic equation, and apparently it's a code.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, I'm going to have to figure this out. 15 minutes later, I figured it out.
Yeah, and that's about the enthusiasm. I got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Light bulb.
So they figure out that they have to burn the thing at the stake and then chant a demonic spell.
The talisman has to be removed, too.
The talisman has to be
already
removed.
done.
Yeah. So the talisman has to be removed. He has to be burned at the stake, and they have to, while he's burning at the stake, recite a demonic prayer backwards.
Together, also.
In unison.
In
Yes.
unison.
So,
Klaatu, Verata,
Nickel. Nectar.
Neptune.
so they go to find the turkey. They tie it up, and they start. They're immediately going out of order because they start reciting the demonic chant backwards, but he's not on fire or anything like that. But they say, "Oh, we've recited the chant. His invincibility is gone." And they're like, "Okay, but you're supposed to also burn him at the stake." And then he's like, the turkey gets free of his rope. We're talking like a real thin piece of butcher's twine here.
Yeah.
So he's like, fuck off, losers. And he starts to run out of the tent. And then this guy's there with a 12 gauge. And he's like, oh, fuck. And then he gets shot into the radioactive bin. And they were all like, he can't be dead. We didn't set him. And they walk over to the bin. And they're like, oh, he's dead.
Nope, he's dead. He gone.
Like, and then obviously we'll get back to him coming back later.
They didn't want to eat the turkey?
That I have a...
Oh, just wait. There's more.
There is more. And by the way, when he gets shotgunned in the head, there's like 11 minutes left in the film. I was like, this is either a really huge credit sequence or we're nowhere near done with this thing.
And it's only like 5 minutes left. And
Yeah.
you're like, this is going to take way too long.
But just quick, if something said, like an ancient ritual said it needs to be burned to be fully dead, even if it's got a shotgun shell in the face, it's in a bin. Get some lighter fluid, toss in a match. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Damn it, Bob.
That's it.
You messed up the ending.
Yeah. But
That's when they went home after they realized that
did you
things were
clock what movie they were watching?
Night of the Living Dead.
Yes, the original black and white one.
Yes.
Which is a classic.
Yeah, that was probably the only good thing about that movie is that they showed the opening scene of Night of the
You know,
Living Dead.
you know why they had to put it in the movie?
Why they had to?
Why they chose that movie? I'm assuming. Out of copyright. They didn't have to get licensed to put it in their movie.
Oh, probably not. Well, they only and all they did was show the title scene, or just the scene with the title going across. So you really didn't see much of anything.
Yeah.
It's not like they had the most famous scene in there where they're coming to get you, Barbara. They're coming for you, Barbara.
Yes.
So,
But, so they go back to the place, to the girls, somebody's house to watch Night of the Living Dead. By the way, they only have one set for houses, and it's all the same trailer. $3,500. Remember this, folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
like none of them had friends that they could say, "Hey,
Yeah.
can we
Apparently,
use your
yeah.
parents' house real quick for like."
Yeah, they didn't have a nice house in the mountains.
Nope.
But then that scene, that's what I was talking about too. Is like that's when they're sitting there on the couch, and then a one jock guy, he starts on this like they always get into these like little monologue speeches.
Yeah.
And then he says, something good came out. I found I have a girlfriend now. And she's like, girlfriend? He's like, yeah, will you go out with me? And then they just start making out.
No. This is how bad the acting is in this movie.
Oh.
So they don't even start making out. They're like, yeah, yay. And then they just like lean forward towards the camera, open their mouths and go,
Yeah.
and then they get out of frame before they start doing anything.
They like lay down on the couch next to their other friend.
No, then they lay down on the floor.
Or was it the floor?
Yeah.
But he's on the couch though, and he's just sitting there, and it cuts to him, and he's just sitting there with the most uncomfortable look on his face.
Because it's implied that they're starting to have sex.
Right.
And,
We're just trying to play Monopoly.
Yeah.
but he's like, I'm going to go pee now.
Yeah, I'm going to go pee now.
Look at the time.
So they're behind like a coffee table, and there's clearly an exit off to his left, and the two people are having sex to his right. He goes right. He starts tiptoeing over them.
Steps over them. What the fuck? He went right. Could have gone left. He chose right.
Well, if you can't go right, there ain't but one way left.
And this is after they determined that the only way it could still be alive is if it was in radioactive waste.
Yeah.
So then, he goes to
The
the
nerdy
bathroom.
guy goes to the bathroom, and then he goes to the kitchen. He starts rumming around this random person's fridge for something to eat. And then the turkey pecks his heart out, effectively. Yeah. Like, it's a 2-minute scene of him just like, and they kind of fast forwarded the action a little, so it's a little blurry, but he's... Yeah, and next thing you know, he pulls out a beating heart and throws it into the kitchen.
And then the other guy goes in there to look. The jock guy, he hears something. Because I think he hears something. Or
He hears the voice,
yes,
and he's like, I think he thinks he has PTSD at this point, which, to be fair, he probably would.
Right.
So he goes in the kitchen, and then the turkey ends up getting into a scuffle with him and stabs him with an electric carving knife.
Yeah.
And then the girl comes in, and she stops him. Is that when she lights him up, or is that afterwards?
That's afterwards.
So she's helping him. Somehow she evades the turkey with him, and she's like, "Come on!" And she grabs the guy, and he's still got the knife in him, and it's plugged in.
So
And
she
like,
unplugs it.
well, no, they just cut to a scene of the plug getting pulled out. Like, you don't see a hand. It's just like they're walking away. Because actually, I will say that because I was like, that looks like it's plugged in, and like it cuts to just a close up of the outlet, and it pops out. And I'm like, oh, okay, at least they answered that question for me.
Yeah.
So if there was any continuity to any of this, it was
going to get out to the front door
make
and
sure
go,
we show it get unplugged.
So they're outside walking. You're like, let's get into those sheds over there. Like, okay. And the jock's, it's in his abdomen. This isn't like the best like wound to have, but he's not like bleeding profusely. If they were to tie a tourniquet or something, he'd make it to the ambulance out there. But he's like, I'm not gonna make it. And she's like, you still got that lighter on you? And he's like, yeah, it's right here. So she takes the lighter.
How they sound too. Yeah,
it's right here.
And you have a carving knife, electric carving knife in you. Yeah, it's right here.
Hang on, let me move it around.
So she grabs a can of legally distinct WD-40. There's a towel wrapped around it, but you can still see like the yellow symbol and
you
the
see
W.
The blue and the yellow,
yeah. And then the turkey like knocks on the door and she kicks it open. And he's like, "You're fired," or something like that. And she lights him on fire. And then she takes a Louisville Slugger and cracks him into a pre-built bonfire.
Yeah, they look like a perfectly built teepee.
Yeah,
it's like all the
this
sticks are perfectly.
This thing was
set
like
up.
6 feet tall, and it was like a giant like effigy. And they just batted this flaming turkey into it, and then the jock dies because
It happens.
Of his wounds,
yeah. And so the girl, being somber and stoic, walks over to the effigy, effectively, of this turkey, and a little piece just like pops out, and like the old homeless guy comes back around. And tries to say something good, but it's forgettable. But what plopped out was a chicken wing, and it was burnt. She eats it. Mm-hmm. Now, here's a huge...
You think that's the end,
Oh, God.
but it's not.
And this also introduces
But wait, there's more.
the biggest continuity ever I have with this movie. We'll get into it.
All right.
So it cuts to, like, I think a year later. It's Thanksgiving. They bring out this Norman Rockwell type turkey, place it on the table in front of this family. It's a mom, dad, couple of kids, grandma. They all hold hands. They say a little Thanksgiving Day prayer. And then the cooked turkey starts coming alive. And it's like, da, 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 and then it stands up and it's like, anyone say sequel? And then it says to be continued.
It like
Movie over.
jumps out at the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a head or anything. It's fully cooked. And then it says to be continued.
And then it says underneath it, in space.
I didn't see that.
It comes up afterwards. So
The moment I said to be continued, I pulled up like the fast forward bar to see if there was any like mid credit scene. The moment I saw no, close. But the biggest continuity ever, if one of his wings fell off and the girl ate it, how does he have a new one now?
Well, how does he talk without a head?
Gavin, why you gotta start asking questions?
Who told you to speak?
Well, I don't know. I got nothing else to say about that.
The wing that she eats on the grass that was charred from the turkey is clearly like a Buffalo Wild Wings like traditional wing, a drumstick.
Yeah.
And
It's not giant.
it's
yeah.
not a turkey leg.
Yeah,
It looked like it was covered in dry Cajun rub.
That's what I was going to say. It's well seasoned.
So that's Thanksgilling. It took us almost the entire length of the movie to talk about it.
So much to say.
I highly recommend this movie.
I do not.
It's on Tubi. If you can get it to work, Gavin was having
yeah.
technical issues. What part did you get up to?
Like, so first part was I got up to...
He's like the opening credits.
Yeah. The opening credits
Thanksgilling.
stopped.
And then it just started buffering.
Yeah, it was nice tits, and then slash, opening credits, and then I got up to where, before they started camping.
Oh,
when
okay.
they were in the car, and that was
Okay.
the other freeze that I couldn't get past.
Oh, gotcha.
So your TV liked you.
Yeah, it's like, sir, I know you're trying to watch this garbage, but no.
We've detected a female in your presence.
Yeah, exactly. We're not subjugating her to this delusional madness.
Your girlfriend does not need to be subject to this.
No. Neither do you, sir.
So
But bravely, I applaud you carrying on.
I was almost going to text you, Gavin, by the way, do not watch this in front of the kids. And
Oh, yeah.
But then I was thinking, the movie's called Thankskilling. There's no way he's not going to know that, right?
Yeah.
then it cuts to Gavin. Hey, kids, come check out this movie.
Guess what I have? Mommy, what are those?
I think the turkey just told him.
Those are called headlights, buddy.
Those are called nice tits.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I probably will not be watching Thankskilling 3. Apparently, there is no 2 now.
Okay.
I thought there was a 2, but I figured if there was a 3, there had been a 2. Apparently not.
Well, they did that in the video game earlier this year.
In charge of planning, Yoda was.
Yeah. It's not even called it's not like it was like Thankskilling again, and then there's Thankskilling Part 3. It's like you're not going to see it number 2. No, there was no sequel except for the third one.
Okay.
In space.
I'm going to watch the shit out of that. I
I
didn't
know
know there
you
was
will.
a sequel.
I know you will. And you'll
I
have to
love
let
these
us know.
bad movies, personally. I think they're great.
But they do crossovers with other movies. So you have the Baby Oopsie horror movies, which is a spin-off of one of the characters from Puppet Master series, later on in Puppet Master series. And the turkey from that crosses over into those movies, and then also Killer Bong crosses over into those movies. So they
Killer Bong?
There's a movie called Killer Bong in it. Well, I just sent him down a rabbit hole for the holidays.
Yep.
Continue.
Okay.
Tell us more about said bomb.
It kills. It's not good.
Does it kill on the rip or after the rip?
Yeah, it's on the rip. But there is a company that does all these movies. I'll have to find the production company name, but then if you look up that production company, you can look up all of them. I want to say maybe it's Full Moon Pictures, I think, maybe. Full Moon Pictures.
There are 7 of these movies.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's crossovers where Evil Bong shows up with
6.
like Baby Oopsie, and it's the Baby Oopsie series, and then Killer Bong and Turkey shows up in them too. It's like it's a whole thing, man. Yeah.
There's Killer Bong 666, Killer Bong Devil's Harvest, Killer Bong 777, Killer Bong
888.
High Five. Oh, well, it's on here twice, so it's only 4.
That's too many for a movie like that. But look up Full Moon Pictures, and you'll be able to find like all these movies that are like that. And yes, there's crossovers to every one of them, and they're horrible. There's like other like puppet type movies, not Puppet Master, but other puppet type movies. I mean, they're just it's just bad. You would have a field day binging this like for weeks. You'd watch every one of these movies, and they're all horrible, just like Thanksgilling.
Corona Zombie. Oh, come on.
They took my
I
idea.
was gonna say that was our damn idea.
Creepazoids,
Oh yeah, you don't want to watch Creepers.
Castle Freak,
Castle Freak. Those are like the older school ones.
Head of the Family,
It's so stupid.
It's like head of the class. but
Gingerbread
blowjobs.
Man versus Evil Bong.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Gingerbread Man crosses over with all of them, and the Baby Oopsie and Killer Bong and Turkey shows up a couple times in some of those movies.
Zombie versus Strippers. The Dead Want Women.
So thinking with this here.
That's all they have.
Hey,
listed.
dead people.
A lot of necrophilia in there.
Yeah, a lot of death stuff going on, but so yeah, now you can look up Full Moon Pictures, and you can get. I think they have an app you can go onto too on your TV or through Roku. So, or you can go onto Filmrise Horror,
The app.
and they have almost all the Full Moon pictures on there. Yeah, you're really into this now. So we'll just be finishing up the show here by ourselves. Patrick will be perusing.
So moving on, we'll go live to the wait.
We're gonna go pre-recorded live.
Yeah. This was a message that I didn't record earlier.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna have a fun time.
I know you are.
This afternoon, it's a buddy of mine's birthday, so he really wants to go see a new movie. So we're gonna go watch, a good one with good production values and good acting.
Red one.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, we're excited to see that.
A friend of mine at work, she went to go see it, and she said she liked it. She said some people were like, "Oh, it's too corny." I was like,
What's the point?
"Yeah, that's hence a Christmas movie."
Yeah.
So speaking of like Thanksgiving and stuff, I would say I've been getting back into that spirit. So rewatching Dutch,
Oh, okay.
which is
Yeah,
one of my
that's a good
favorites. Obviously, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. What was the other one I was thinking of? Those two I've rewatched. I've been looking to rewatch. There's a couple more I know we've talked about that are like Thanksgiving-y type movies.
was it in like the Family Stone or something like that?
Which one?
It's not the Family Stone, is it? Where it's like they all come in for the Thanksgiving holiday, and like the boyfriends or the brothers, one of them ends up being with the other's girlfriend or some shit.
That's just a messed up thing.
Yeah. I'll figure it out.
That's called, and there is a movie that this would be aptly named. That's called Awkward Thanksgiving.
yeah.
Well, this is weird. But no, so I've been, trying to get back into watching those now because we are right around the corner from, when this airs, it'll be the day before Thanksgiving. And then, as soon as Thanksgiving ends, it's Christmas time. I mean,
Right.
it already is kind of now, but officially, that's when most people say it's official. It's like the day after Thanksgiving, it's Christmas time.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh,
Nothing
son-in-law.
Son-in-law, that's right. Yep.
That's a good one because he went in over. That's what they did. It was their Thanksgiving break.
Yep.
Doesn't Scent of a Woman take place around Thanksgiving?
I think so. You
Yeah.
might be right.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Sweet November.
Sweet November.
All right. Well, I guess I found another one. Friendsgiving. We're gonna have to watch this.
Friendsgiving
Yeah.
or Friends?
Franz.
Does it star Franz Dresser?
Nope. But the title scene is just the lady holding her boobs
Oh.
with it's like a sundae, or is that mashed potatoes and gravy? That's hilarious.
I bet that one won't buffer on you.
I found your Amityville Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's one called Pilgrim. A woman invites pilgrim reenactors to her family's Thanksgiving celebration after to remind them of their privilege and help them bond with one another.
Yay. That sounds sweet.
I'm
Doesn't
going to
it?
watch Thanksgiving 3. That's what I'm gonna
I
watch.
know you're going to. I know you're going to. So what is everybody doing for Thanksgiving?
I will be in Virginia,
Oh.
flying up Thanksgiving Day. See the fam. Be there for a week. In a town where you need a passport to go visit.
Yeah. It's its own country.
Yes, it is.
It's a rogue nation.
No
It's
country
a place up there where they're like, I'll tell you what. And everybody's like, well, what? I just told you. Okay.
I told you I'd tell you what.
Yeah.
What? I told you what?
I told you what. Oh, good.
We're just gonna head down, go into town there, Gavin, if you want to.
Yeah.
I
Which you did you? You ain't bring your truck with you, did you? Aorta. You know Aorta cut that grass down by the ball field. One of them boys gonna get hurt.
Well, tell all the locals we said hi.
I will. I'll.
Do they have internet there?
Yes. Still dial up, but yes. I hope so, because I got to work up there too.
Don't answer the phone.
Yeah, Ma, I'm on the internet. Get off the phone.
Why do you have just one line still? Oh, we ain't so fancy. We can have two phone lines.
Excuse me, you down there in the fancy Florida with your fancy shit.
What kind of music do you? Oh, we got both kinds, country and western.
Yeah. You got any music? We got Hank Williams. Got anything newer? We got Hank Williams Jr.
We got Conway Twitty.
That's in between.
What about you, Mr. Tony?
I will just be here, not in Virginia.
Good on you.
Good on you.
Smart call.
Gavin said, "You ought to go with me." I said, "I do not want to go."
I said, "Hell no."
So let me think about that. No. I've got a busy day of going to see a banana taped to a wall.
Careful, they charge for that.
Really looking forward to it. Busy day.
Busy day.
May go down to Home Depot. I don't know. Don't know if we're gonna have enough time. Maybe to Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know.
I love it. I love it.
And you?
Just going over my family's place. We all gather at my sister's. We'll be there from 3 o'clock till 8, just eating and bullshitting. We got some family in town from New York.
Are you going to have a Bible and some steaks on standby just in case the turkey comes to life? Do you know the prayer? Do you remember the prayer?
No.
You might want to watch that movie again.
Well, you know what really worked in the end was WD-40 and a lighter.
Do you have that?
I have a lighter.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
It's right here.
Patrick, you got a lighter? The turkey's coming alive again.
Some bitch.
That's some of my bitch.
Well, that is good times, man. We are almost out of time, though, so just wanted to say again, wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. Eat all the good foods. Enjoy the families.
Wear them stretchy pants.
Yep.
Watch the parade.
Or just unbox.
And Thanksgiving.
And if you need to. If you want to.
If you want to.
If you're of age, because it is rated R.
Yes. Not suitable for all audiences.
No.
Some restrictions may apply. Viewer discretion is advised.
Kids, ask your parents if it's all right to watch Thanksgiving.
Just put it on during Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. You'll have your guest will leave real quick.
Dad says it's okay. Well, Dad,
you worried about your uncle talking about
tomorrow?
Well, Dad's not here.
Yeah.
You worried about your crazy uncle talking politics at the table? Turn on that movie.
Yep.
Everybody will be talking to you. So that was from Hanky Panky.
Yeah, I know.
And that movie's good.
Yes, that was stellar compared to this.
That movie deserves an Oscar compared to this one.
Yeah, it's like the original Batman, or Batman and Robin. It's like Batman and Robin.
Oh,
that one's Batman. Yeah, I said it, and I'm not ashamed of it, and I will not take it back.
You shouldn't.
No. But also, remember, watch your football games too. Get into the sports. Get into the Thanksgiving Day parade.
I know
the
the Cowboys
foosball.
always play. The Lions always play. And there's always a third game that's rando.
Yeah.
I don't know who's
Everybody
playing.
just really cares about the Cowboys and the Lions.
Pretty much.
And the way the Lions are playing this year, they are probably going to stomp the Cowboys. So
Yes.
Go Lions. But
And Brian, if you're listening, we're finally on your side.
yeah, this one time.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying the cold. But that is all the time we have. Again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy the time. Stay safe. If you're going to go out on Black Friday, enjoy that too. And get your Christmas trees up and get ready, because when we return, we are going to begin the process of talking about the holiday seasons of Christmas when we return. But until then, for Movie Talks and Chill, we are your hosts. I am Tony Serrato.
I'm Gavin Butts.
I'm Patrick Wall.
And I am going to shoot myself in the face for having to watch Thanksgiving.
I'm going to go watch the third one.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Take care. Don't forget, guys, you can visit us at our website, movietalksandchill.com. Email us at talktous@movietalksandchill.com, or find us on our YouTube channel.
You can also follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Movie Talks and Chill.
You can listen to us on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, coming soon to Apple Podcasts, CastBox, and Overcast.
New episodes available every Wednesday. Talk to you then. Theme music for our podcast was composed, arranged, and performed by Paul the Rock.